Finally, a pistol with a proper superhero name. We're gonna be checking out the Hellcat. It's gonna be fun, let's do it. Yes, sir, Bob, welcome back. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. A windy day out here in Georgia, but we're out here having some shooting today, having a little fun. And this is a Springfield Armory Hellcat, one of the newest additions to their line of pistols. This puts it into the micro pistol line, if you will. And this gun is more or less kind of direct competition to the SIG P365. I've got one here too. We'll check that out. We've already done a video on that gun, but we thought this would be a cool one to check out. I would like to thank our friends at Gun Zone Deals for getting us in this particular example to show for you guys in this video. They're always good about getting us into cool guns that are hard to get a hold of. Well, really everything's hard to get a hold of right now, so anything we can get, we're definitely thankful for to be able to show you guys. All right, so Hellcat versus 365, because honestly, that's the conversation everybody's really wanting to have, and what people are really asking. As it stands right now, at the time we're making this video, the whole micro double stack, pistol paradigm, if you will. That's kind of a mouthful there, but that kind of paradigm really only exists between these two guns. Now, it's worth noting that the Glock 48, you can do the shield arms magazines that have the double stack magazines, but of course that is considerable additional cost in order to get the capacity of the 48 up to a level that this gun would be at. And of course, it's still not really in that tiny micro realm that these two guns are in. Now let's take a look at this particular one. Very, very skinny little gun. It's not overly fat at all. It's going to be a little bit fatter than a shield, obviously, being a double stack. But you've got 11 round magazine, so 11 plus 1 puts 12 shots in your hand for the very similar size range of a SIG P365. So you get an extra round of capacity in the magazine. So that's one benefit, I guess, is that you do have higher magazine capacity. This is touted and is the smallest, most compact 9mm double stack pistol in the world right now. So this is the tiniest one. These are made in Croatia. Really cool stuff. I love the Deep U sight with the big dot up front. It is a night sight. Very easy to acquire and pick up. Maybe not quite so good for like super accurate shooting, but it does pick up really easily. So in a defensive environment, which is really what a gun this size is intended to accomplish, is being a great personal defense tool, concealed carry, super, super tiny, super lightweight. You get the idea. It excels in that role quite well. They do have optics ready versions of this little guy. You can actually put you a little slide rider on this. Now this one is not cut for optics plate, but they do have a model that is. This gun's only been out just under 2 years now. It came out in 2019, so here we are getting early 2021. I'm a little late to the game in terms of getting my hands on this particular gun. They are available now in flat dark earth as well as black. They were only available in black for a long time and with a non-slide riding cut on it. Now when we look at the 365, the one that I've got here is the base model 365. All right, and when we look at this, we can see no cut, but it is available with a cut. So SIG, did a great job on the 365 of offering it in a variety of different sizes, different options, slide riders, things like that. This particular P365 I got from Gun Zone Deals as well for this comparison. We wanted to be able to show the two off. They're both great guns. I will say that the trigger on the SIG is probably my favorite. I do like it a good bit better. I find that I can shoot the 365 really well. Although this gun has a great trigger on it as well. Okay, it's worth noting. The break angle on the trigger, again, when you look at the way that that trigger stages up, okay, and then when you get into the break of the trigger, this is real important, is that break angle, right? Because it affects how you shoot the pistol. When we look at the way that trigger breaks, look at how it lays back at a nice 90-degree angle. You know, it's not quite like shooting something like a 1911 trigger or single action, revolver or auto loader trigger, but it does equate to a very distinctive break and a nice clear press, so it does break nice and clean. I will say that the reset is a little long, but definitely not impossible to shoot in rapid fire strings. It is an unruly little guy. I mean, it is a tiny gun firing 9mm, even though 9mm is not a tremendous amount of recoil. It is a little bit snappy. It may be snappy for some, and it's clear that that's the same minor criticism that I offered on the original P365 video that we did as well, is that it, you know, because of its small size, it is a little snappy. Both guns are going to be a little bit on the snappy side. Let's shoot it a little bit more. Okay, 11 shot mag. So if we were to load around in the chamber, we could obviously put 12 shots in this total, but not bad. All right, have a little fun. I jettisoned the magazine from the gun and it didn't lock to the rear. Just because I'm having to hang on to this thing so tight that I apparently squeezed the magazine release and dropped the mag. All right, let's try again. See if I can avoid that. Oh yeah. I mean, as a defensive unit, I would definitely, have no issue defending myself with this pistol. I think it's awesome too to think about the capacity, right? So we've got 13 shots plus 1 makes 14 shots in this little guy. Now that's a lot of capacity over your standard 365, but think about it, you're only 1 round shy of a Glock 19 at that point. That's a pretty interesting distinction to think about. This is a lot of firepower in a really tiny little package. The slide barrel, I don't know about the barrel, but the slide is stainless steel on these. So really good corrosion resistance, and of course with the coatings, that helps a lot too. You've also got a loaded chamber indicator, which is just a cut in the rear of the barrel hood as well as the rear of the slide right here. So it's just a simple indicator. Really nice. All right, I'm gonna shoot the gun a little bit more. See if I can keep from pushing that mag release in. The mag release can only be actuated from the left side of the pistol. I am having to hold on to this thing pretty hard, to control the recoil, but I'll try not to push that mag release out again. I mean, the accuracy is certainly good in this little guy, despite being a bit snappy. And I'll tell you what, I've got 2 mags for this thing. John's helping me load a few mags just to move things along. We do that just to try to, make the videos a little shorter for you. I'm gonna go ahead and have him load a mag for the 365. This is a brand new out-of-the-box 365. I've never shot it, Chaz never shot it. It has not even had a single round put through it. I'm gonna shoot that too, just for the heck of it, for comparison while we're here. Okay? All right, this is the 11 shot mag. Cool stuff. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's a micro pistol. I'm not overly sure it's something I would try to shoot tiny little groups with. This is probably more of a matter of getting used to drawing it and shooting it comfortably from concealment, as well as in weird positions and practicing your magazine changes. It is a physically smaller gun, just like the 365, so it is, a lot smaller, a lot tinier. Your manual of arms and your trigger control, your sight alignment, all those things are gonna be a little tougher with the smaller the gun is. There's no such thing as a free lunch in physics, as they say, right? So the less weight I get into, the smaller the gun, the more all of those factors are going to come into play. You know, smaller guns tend to be just more difficult to shoot. But I feel pretty confident with it. All right, I'm gonna shoot a mag through the 365. Now, I know this is a video on the Hellcat, but just humor me, okay? I just wanna try this little guy out, just so it's a direct comparison. I did mention that I do like the trigger on the SIG 365 a little bit better. This is an out-of-the-box one, never shot before. Now, I've got, you know, a couple of thousand rounds through a 365, so I do like these guns. Let's see how this one works. All right, so now that gun's snappy too because it's tiny. I pulled one round low, that was my fault, but look at that group. So I can shoot that gun a little more accurately, but that's just me, right? You know, I encourage every person to just kind of look at each gun from a holistic standpoint and just treat each one as its own animal, right? If the Hellcat had the same trigger as a 365, I'd probably be able to shoot this gun just as accurately. I find myself not generally preferring this style of trigger as much as other guns, but it is definitely not a bad trigger. I just want to make it clear to people that, you know, the trigger makes a difference. The holistic approach to how you look at a gun can make a difference. Some people don't shoot 1911s well. Some people don't shoot CZs well. Some people shoot Glocks really well. Some people don't. I'm probably in the camp that tends to not shoot Glocks as well as some other guns. It's nothing against Glock. I love Glocks. I own several Glocks. But it's been a struggle shooting a stock trigger extremely, you know, with really good accuracy. All right. Yeah. I'm just not shooting this gun very good at all. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're going to shoot it bad. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad shooter. It just means that this particular gun and me are not really meshing as good as other guns that are similar to this. I probably shoot a Shield a little bit better than this. I shoot the 365 a bit better. But to be fair, I've got a lot more rounds down the pipe on the SIG than I do this thing. I mean, I would certainly not have an issue defending myself with it at all. Yes, sir. Not bad. I pulled that one way low, though. Whew. I don't know if I'm just healing with this thing. Try taking my time on this next one a little bit more. It's really neat stuff, though. I do like the texture on this gun. Not overly crazy, overly harsh. Nice, simple texture you'd come to expect on pretty much any polymer frame gun. You know, the trigger guard is not viciously large. I mean, if you're wearing gloves, it might be a little bit on the tiny side, but the way that they made that trigger break, it does give you a little bit more room, which is not too terribly bad. I do like the low profile sights. I mean, this gun definitely has a ton of things going for it. And one thing on the Springfields that I do like a lot as well, especially compared to some of the other manufacturers, especially Glock, is the fit and finish on these things is fantastic. When you look at all the polishing, you know, the way they do the lead on the barrel, they're really well polished and just really well fitted guns. So I do like that about them. They are very well made pistols. It is worth noting, you know, these guns are not inexpensive. You know, they are a little bit on the pricey side. I do like the XD mags a lot. These mags are very, very high quality. They just, you know, they hold up really, really well. And that's one thing about the XD and the Springfield series of mags, is that they are very robust magazines as well. And you know, you can see in the 13-shot mag, you've got that little pad on the bottom with the extra grip texture, give you a little bit larger grip when you put the mag in there. Okay. You know, when the larger mag is in there, it kind of makes me think of like a 19, maybe a little, you know, smaller than 19 obviously, but the angle. All right. This is going to be it here, and then we're going to let you guys get back to your day. But I'm having some moments of accuracy. I wouldn't say like ridiculously good or terrible, but I think with a little more time, I could probably shoot this gun a bit better. Oh yeah. Not bad at all. That slide stop sure is tiny, and it's only on the left side of the gun, so it's definitely not an ambidextrous pistol as well. So, you know, it's not completely ambi right out of the box. You know, everything is pretty much set up for a right-handed shooter. Yes, sir. I mean, that's not bad at all. That's putting them right where I'm looking, which is great. Hope you guys enjoyed having a look at the Hellcat. This is a really cool gun from Springfield's lineup. It's going to be interesting to see where the tiny pistol market goes. Okay, when we get into the really, really tiny stuff. Expect a video coming from us soon. We're going to do sort of a roundup where we discuss some of the smaller autos and go through some of the features and, you know, show people what's out there in terms of trying to get into a very small gun. So expect that video. And I'd like to thank our friends at Gun Zone Deals for providing both of these pistols for us to compare for you. They also helped get us into some of the other guns that we're going to be putting in that particular lineup as well. So make sure you check that out. And I would love to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot to me and my family. Those of you who purchased t-shirts over on Ballistic Ink, thank you very much. We got tons of merch, hoodies, hats, caps, all kind of cool stuff. Shirts, obviously. And also those of you who purchase man cans, it's a monthly man box that we sell. Really, really cool stuff, gear that we select just for you guys. We hope you'll check those out too. And we really appreciate those of you who support us in that way. Thanks for watching. Many more videos on the way. I am going to take a little more time with this Hellcat because I think the gun is a heck of a lot more accurate than I can shoot it. But I'm going to try to take some more time to shoot this gun and try to get used to this trigger. I've always had an issue with Glock triggers or any, you know, these types of triggers. So I'm going to try my best to maybe get this thing shooting a little bit better, but the gun certainly is accurate. I would say the accuracy on the two guns is very similar. I just shoot the SIG better than this gun, but that's just me. Remember guys, take all these guns from a holistic approach, right? Take them out, shoot them, see if you like them. Don't take my word for it. Go check them out yourself. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.